Hello students, welcome to standard 12 subject mathematics, chapter number 1 relations and functions. This is lecture number 2. In the first lecture we have understood the types of relations, that was extreme relations we have seen, that empty relation and universal relations we have seen. One example also we have done with the help of that definitions. Now more definitions we will see. So in mathematics actually in the relation as well, the most important term is here is equivalence relation. To understand the equivalence relation, because in that definition we need some more definition before understanding equivalence relation. So we have to understand that definition first, which are useful, and with the help of that we will define the equivalence relations. So before equivalence relations, the definitions are reflexive, symmetric and transitive relations we will understand. So a relation R in a set A is called number 1 reflexive if A belongs to R, means A equals to A. The same thing, it's related with the same thing, like A is equals to A. For every A belongs to A. We will understand with the examples also. We will say a relation R in a set A is called symmetric if A1, A2 belongs to R, means A1 is related to A2, implies A2 also related to A1, the same way. In reflexive, A is related to A, then reflexive. In symmetric, if A1 is related to A2, in the same manner, if A2 is also related to A1, implies that A2 is also related to A1, that means A2, A1 belongs to R. For all A1, A2 belongs to A, then we say that this relation is symmetric. For being the relation transitive, if A1 is related to A2, that means A1, A2 belongs to R, and A2, A3 belongs to R, that means A2 is also related to A3. What do you understand? A1 related to A2 and A2 related to A3 implies that A1 is related to A3 also. Implies that A3 belongs to R, that means A1 related to A3. For all A1, A2, A3 belongs to A, then this relation is called transitive, right? So this way, for being reflexive, A related to A belongs to R, that means A is related to A, B out of C. The same thing should be related to the itself. Symmetric, in symmetric, what we have to understand? If A1 is related to A2, that is, then implies A2 related to A1, then the relation is symmetric. In transitive, if A1 is related to A2, A2 related to A3, and that implies if A1 related to A3, if that implies, then this relation is called transitive. Now we define definition 4 as equivalence relation. After understanding the reflexive and symmetric and transitive, we define equivalence relation. So a relation R in a set A is said to be an equivalence relation if R is reflexive, symmetric and transitive, all the three. If this relation R is reflexive, symmetric and transitive, all the three, then that type of relation is called equivalence relations. I think now you understand why we defined first reflexive, symmetric and transitive before defining equivalence relation. Because in equivalence relation, all the three must be there: reflexive, symmetric and transitive. So now we will see the examples. Example 2 is, because one is seen in first lectures, so example 2 and 3 this lecture we will see based on the equivalence relation. Let T, capital T, be the set of all triangles in a plane with R, a relation in T given by R equals to the relation in T, all the triangles, the relation R is defined as T1, T2, such that the pair of T1, T2 such that T1 is congruent to T2. This is the relation. T1 is congruent to T2. So show that R is an equivalence relation. This relation is equivalence that you have to show. So in solution, to show equivalence, what is needed? We have to show reflexive this way. You have to say show symmetric, and and we have to show transitive also. All the three we have to show it equivalent. So in solution, R is reflexive. Directly you can write. Why? Because since every triangle is congruent to itself, if you take any triangle, it will be congruent to itself. So T1 is congruent to T1, T2 is congruent to T2, and A belongs to R for being reflexive. That means T1 belongs to R, and it is always true for the two triangles, congruent triangles. For one triangle, it will be always congruent to itself. So every triangle is congruent to itself, so R is reflexive. First part is done. Second, symmetric we will check. If T1, T2 belongs to R, which means or implies T1 is congruent to T2 by this relation given. T1, T2 belongs to R means T1 is congruent to T2. That implies if T1 is congruent to T2 means one triangle is congruent to the other triangle. Its reverse also we can write, the other triangle is congruent to first triangle. So that implies T2 is congruent to T1. And if we can write T2 is congruent to T1, the relation we can write T2, T1 belongs to R. It is similar to T1, T2 belongs to R implies T2, A1 belongs to R. T1, T2 belongs to R implies T2, T1 belongs to R. Hence, R is symmetric also. The second symmetric also we have shown. Now next, third is transitive to show. Moreover, T1, T2 and T2, T3 both belongs to R means implies T1, T2 belongs to R implies T1 is congruent to T2, and T2, T3 belongs to R shows T2 is congruent to T3. For the three triangles T1, T2 and T3, T1 is congruent to T2 and T2 is congruent to T3. So for first and third, for triangles congruency, you can say that it is obvious that T1 is congruent to T3. So that is here, if T1 is congruent to T2 and T2 is congruent to T3, implies T1 is congruent to T3. And that can be written as T1, T3 belongs to R. And so by this definition, A1, A2 belongs to R, A2, A3 belongs to R implies A1, A3 belongs to R. It is transitive, similar way. T1, T2 and T2, T3 belongs to R. So T1, T3 belongs to R, hence R is transitive. So here we have shown all the three. R is reflexive, R is symmetric, and as well as R is transitive also. So therefore R is an equivalence relation by this definition. Example 3 is next. Let L, capital L, be the set of all the lines in a plane. Capital L shows all the lines in the plane, and in that R is the relation in L defined as R equals to the pair of L1, L2 such that L1 is perpendicular to L. We have to show that R is symmetric but neither reflexive nor transitive. So first we will check the first, reflexive or not. So it is not. R is not reflexive. Why? As a line L1 cannot be perpendicular to itself. You can see from the figure. If L1, L2 belongs to R, that means L1 will be perpendicular to L2. And in this, L1 will not be perpendicular to itself. L1 will not be perpendicular to L1 only. And L2 will not be perpendicular to L2. L2 is not perpendicular to L2. Means any line can never be perpendicular to itself. So L1 does not belong to R. Means R is not reflexive. By the first. Now we talk about symmetric. R is symmetric. R is symmetric. That means L1, L2 belongs to R. L1, L2 belongs to R implies that L1 is perpendicular to L2 in symbolical way. L1 is perpendicular to L2. Like in the figure also you can see L1 is perpendicular to L2. So in reverse also you can say L2 is perpendicular to L1. If L1 is perpendicular to L2 implies L2 is also perpendicular to L1. Implies you can write it as L2, L1 belongs to R. L2 is also perpendicular to L1. So by this definition, A1, A2 belongs to R implies A2, A1 belongs to R. Similarly, L1, L2 belongs to R implies L2, L1 belongs to R. So R is symmetric. That we wanted to prove that R is symmetric and R is not reflexive. That is that. Now for the transitive, R is not transitive. Why? See. As L1, L2 and L2, L3 belongs to R. L1, L2 belongs to R means L1 is perpendicular to L2. And L2, L3 belongs to R means L2 is also perpendicular to L3. L1 is perpendicular to L2 and L2 is perpendicular to L3. You can see that L1 is not perpendicular to L3. Never be. It is impossible. So that implies L1, L2 and L2, L3 belongs to R. That implies L1 is perpendicular to L2 and L2 is perpendicular to L3. Then L1 can never be perpendicular to L3. You can see the figure. L1 can never be perpendicular to L3. In fact, L1 will be parallel to L3. It is. In fact, it is L1 is parallel to L3, not perpendicular. So, in short, we can write that is L1, L2 belongs to R. Means L1 is perpendicular to L2, and L2, L3 belongs to R. That is L2 perpendicular to L3, but L1 is not perpendicular to L3. Means L1, L3 is not belongs to R. Means not in a relation, so not a transitive. So this way, in this lecture, we have understood the relation, most important relation, that is equivalence relation. For being equivalence relation, that reflexive, symmetric and transitive, all three must be. So therefore we have defined first these three, and with the example we have understood it, how when we can say the equivalence relation is and when we can say it is not. So in example 2 it is equivalence relation, example 3 it is not there, and if it is not there, what is there? Only symmetric it is there here in this example, and no reflexive, no transitive. So this way you understand this equivalence relation, define it. Before defining it, reflexive, symmetric and transitive definition you write and define it and do these examples. More examples we will see in the next lecture. Thank you.